faintly down the hallway, "Oh, Mari went ahead and told me to do IPR on a patient, and then he needs to have IPR, and I'm like, channel. My name is Omari Bryant. If you're new here, this is a new channel, go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for when I do upload new videos. You definitely will not be disappointed. If you guys already know, I have on my cap, I have on my scrubs. You guys already know what time it is. It is time for another Dental Office Chronicles. So, the last time that I had a Dental Office Chronicles series, we talked about the office from hell, or aka the crazy office. Finally! And this particular office today, we're going to go ahead and talk about when she went ahead and yelled at me. Yes, guys, she went ahead and yelled at me. We're going to talk about that, what happened, how the situation happened. And if you guys are in the dental field and you guys are in the assisting or hygiene or just work in the office world, go ahead and comment below. Go and get those fingers moving in the comments. Go ahead and share with me some of your crazy experiences, or if you can relate to an experience that I share here on my channel. Yup. So we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Like I said before, you know, for all of my stories to make sense, we have to go ahead and, of course, give everybody a name in this particular story. We do have, you know, some front desk people in this story. We also have the doctor. Now, in this particular office, there's a male doctor and a female doctor to make it easy so I don't have to give them names. So this is the female doctor, and then we also have a couple of assistants. There really wasn't any of the assistants involved in this story. It was just a few front desk people, which is our treatment plan coordinator. Just absolutely love her. And then we also have the office manager, and then we also have the male doctor, and then myself, really. Other from that, everybody else in the office didn't really matter about the situation. It's not really a long story, so we'll just dive right into it. But anyways, you guys know me personally, or if you guys don't get to know me in any type of way, you guys will figure out that I'm a very easygoing guy, and I don't really care to have any issues or anything like that, especially in a work environment. Like, you can't have a hostile work environment. How are you going to be successful? How are you going to get through the day? How are you going to go ahead and help and motivate your patients, especially if they're coming in and they're already nervous, right? So this particular day, we're super busy, okay? I go in, you know, remember I said, like, sometimes if you didn't check the schedule the night before, or go ahead and double check, you know, to see, okay, is this person coming in tomorrow, or are we going to have the case ready? Do we run out of something? You know, if you don't know, you wouldn't know. And it was so annoying, like, it was so annoying. So it got to the point where one day I came in, and our lead assistant, and if you guys know anything about a lead assistant, they can be very important, especially you know, if they're really in tune into the office and making sure that supplies and everything are done. This particular office, not necessarily. She was cool and everything, but there was still times that we would still obviously run out of stuff. It wasn't necessarily her fault, like she would try to put in the order ahead of time, but we would still run out of stuff. So this particular day, we were super busy, we were super swamped, had a book schedule, and basically like 2 people called out. So we were supposed to have a replacement come in for the lead assistant. She ended up not coming.
I think somebody trying to set me up. I believe that.
But that's later on during the day, though. So we go ahead, we get started. I get there a little early, check the schedule, clock in, whatever. Manager, and I don't deal with this manager because she's really phony. All she does is talk about you. You know, that's going to be a whole other separate video of why me and the office manager did not get along, for me returning to the office for the second time, and so on and so on and so on. So we'll discuss that in a later video, but that is a whole nother segment, like, seriously. So I just went ahead and looked at the schedule, and I was just like, oh my goodness. If you guys know anything about dentistry, you know that, of course, each doctor will have separate schedules, and you'll have different columns. And this particular day, all of the columns were full. Like, it was super packed, super full, and I'm like, Lord, get me through this day, get me through this day, get me through this day, because it's just so much. Like, why are you guys cramming so many things on a schedule? And some of the stuff just did not make any sense. Like, why would you go ahead and put so many new patients on one day? Like, you really don't need to have that many new patients. It's never that serious, like, at all. But looking at the schedule, taking it for a glance, and I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be a busy one, so let's just go ahead and get this day started. Like, just go ahead and just take it in for what it was and just do it. So I go ahead and I start going through the day, whatever. We get maybe like, maybe an hour into the day. Now, mind you, the doctor, she was late. She was really late. Now, she's habitually late. She's always late. There's never like a time that she's not late. But this particular day, she was really, really late. She had to be about late at least maybe 45 minutes to an hour late. So she comes in. We already have all of her patients seated and everything. And one of the patients was an Invisalign patient. Keep this in mind. This is very important. Invisalign patient. The Invisalign patient comes in. If you guys know anything about Invisalign patients, they're not very time-consuming patients, especially if they're just there to just get another tray. You kind of go ahead and give them their tray and keep it moving type of thing. Like, get in and get out. Kind of like denture patients. You be like, you can sit for 5 minutes. I'll be right back, you know, because you're going to be getting out. However, if it's an adjustment. However, this busy is so frightening, and I'm remembering it vividly now, how busy it was. It was just so busy. We just did not have the time to like double, triple check normally how we normally should. Like, it doesn't matter how busy you are, you have to double, triple check. But with COVID and everything, it's just so hard. Like, that's why I really did not want to go back to work, because it was just so difficult. And especially I wasn't doing hygiene at this office. I was just mainly doing assisting. So we are trying to figure out if there's IPR that's needed for the patient, because on the little baggies, and that's another thing, we could barely find the case too. I had to go in the back and like really search down for the case, and I was like, okay, it's in this drawer. However, I look at it, it said IPR on it. So if anybody knows, IPR is interproximal reduction. And I was like, okay, well, I think this patient needs IPR. So I went ahead and I mentioned to her, I guess she was like doing, I don't remember what she was doing. She was either doing a crown or something. And she was doing some type of operative procedure where she was sitting down working. And I went ahead and just said, hey, I think that patient needs IPR. She's like, are you sure? I said, I'm pretty sure it says it on the packaging. But I was like, let's go ahead and check out mine. So me not knowing, this was my mistake, but me not knowing, I go on the website, I click on it, and it said IPR, but it was grayed out. Apparently, because before, I used to use Invisalign a lot, but when I worked for Smile Direct Club, we didn't have stuff like that, because we didn't do IPR. So I'm assuming, because it said IPR, even though it was grayed out, I'm assuming that the treatment needed to be done. So I double checked it. I still said, I think the patient needs IPR. Mind you, I said, I think. I did not say go ahead and do it, but she took it upon herself to go ahead and do it. However, it's just the way how she handled the situation, though. Like, I understand it was a mistake, mind you. There's lots of mistakes that happen daily. There are teeth that get extracted that the teeth are not supposed to be extracted. There are teeth that get crowns on them that don't need to have crowns. However, you know, it's not the right thing, you know, to say like, oh, you know, they happen all the time. But no, I mean, just know that we're all human beings, and a mistake is going to happen. And it's IPR. It's not the end of the world. The patient's not going to lose a tooth. It's not the end of the world, y'all. You know, this woman made like the biggest fit about this. Like, she literally made the biggest fit about the IPR. Like, seriously, like, she literally was like, oh, Mari, like, oh my goodness. It was, and I'm trying not to laugh because it was so funny, like, at the same time, to like, I was like, what is her problem? So I'm hearing like faintly down the hallway, they're not, mind you, these rooms have pocket doors. So I'm like listening, because I sat a patient down, we're gonna do an extraction on them. So I'm trying to like relax the patient, take blood pressure, all that, get consents and everything done. And I hear faintly down the hallway, oh, Mari went ahead and told me to do IPR on a patient, and then he needs to have IPR, and I'm like, what is her problem? So I go ahead and I poke my head out the hallway, and I didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden I hear her again, and it gets louder. And now she comes room, patient's in the chair, and she's, you made me do IPR on a patient that didn't need IPR, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who is she talking to? Like, why are you raising your voice? Like, why? Like, how is this okay?
Come on, let's go outside. Go outside for what? We gonna fight.
How is this okay for you to be raising your voice like that? It's a mistake. Like, relax. So I go ahead and, you know, finish doing what I'm doing. And as I'm ready to go get the other doctor, the male doctor, to go ahead and administer anesthetic for the extraction, she is in the office, in the front office, talking cash money shit about me. Like, literally wearing me out. Like, talking about, so Omari made me do this. And so I had to check her, like, right then and there. I had to make it my due diligence right then and there. After we numbed up that patient, I went right over to that office. What's up? Are we good? Are we gonna be able to coexist and work today? I'm very sorry. It is a mistake, you know, and all of that. But she's like, no. Show me on the computer. Russ said that he needed IPR, and I showed her. Like, I literally showed her. Like, even though it was a mistake, I still wanted to show her. Like, this is where I came up with the information. Well, I should have never. I said, but I told you to double check. I told you to double check, sis. Why did you not double check? She's like, well, you know, I shouldn't have to, and, you know, I trust you guys a little too much, and blah, blah, and I'm like, okay, but I understand that. At the end of the day, I may have RDH, I may have DA underneath my name, but I am not DMD, and I am not DDS. I am not a dentist at all. And that's exactly what I told her. And she was still talking cash money shit about me. She went up to the treatment plan coordinator. She went in and was talking to her. She was talking to the office manager about it. No, I don't fuck with the office manager. Like, why are you doing that?
Here. I want to go home.
Like, why are you being messy talking cash money shit about me like that? And after that, I was like, yo, I'm done with her. Like, I was like, I'm done with her. I refused to work with her. Like, I did not work with her after that. Like, I just could not do it. I just couldn't do it. I really couldn't. And from that moment, actually, like, when I, you know, when she did that, I kind of, like, checked out, and I was like, I don't want to work there no more. Like, I was like, I know I just returned, but I really don't want to, I don't want to be here. And, you know, when I first had left, I had left, like, you know, I'm not going to tell too much about that, because I'm going to talk about that in another video too. Why I left the first time in that situation. Oh my goodness. I wish I had the phone call like recorded a little bit. Oh my goodness, that would have been so funny. But yeah, I do have some texts and stuff like that from that situation I can share in the video. This is gonna be so funny. Oh my goodness. But man, this office, man, is a freaking disaster. It really, really is. Now, believe it or not, like, I just heard, like, the other day, like, she's still going about me. I'm like, does she like me or something? Like, what is going on? Like, why am I always on these people's topic? Like, they radar. I don't know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much again for tuning into another episode of Dental Office Chronicles. There will be definitely more to come on this crazy ass office from hell, whatever we're gonna call it, in another video. So go ahead and check out the other video, which is episode 2. I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below. Go ahead and check it out so you can go ahead and follow my journey of talking about this crazy office and why I left. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next